Genetic testing could lead to huge scientific breakthroughs in preventing cancer, but it also can be misleading. Jim Axelrod reported yesterday about the questionable marketing claims that a blood test can detect cancer before symptoms appear. He is back now with part 2 of his investigation into what some call the modern-day gold rush. Good morning.
Good morning. The genetic testing industry is booming, with an average of 8 to 10 testing products being put on the market every day, according to one recent estimate. But in the rush to put tests in physicians' hands, our investigation found profit placed above proof.
What if we could detect cancer before symptoms appear?
Last September, a company called Pathway Genomics launched a blood test making game-changing claims.
Cancer Intercept can detect a growing tumor in the body.
We were intrigued. So a few weeks ago, we sat down with Pathway's CEO, Jim Plant, to ask him about the evidence. Can you tell me about the studies you've done?
Before we launched the test, we had a clinical study of more than 100.
Is 100 enough?
Well, it depends on what you're looking for, right? I mean, you could make an argument that there's never enough data, right? But as you get more information, then you can say more things.
My question is about the testing. Has your product been clinically validated?
Our test has been validated under the current regulatory requirements.
Which doesn't mean much, since under current FDA regulations, labs that develop tests like these don't have to prove their claims before they go to market.
It's backwards. It's exactly backwards.
Dr. Stephen Master is director of the Central Lab at Weill Cornell Medicine. How can a test like that go on the market before it's been validated?
Well, the current law allows laboratories a lot of leeway in what they do. What seems to have changed, though, is that there's now a business model that has emerged.
They sell before they're ready.
The explosion of unproven lab-developed tests on the market is a big concern for researchers like Dr. Theodora Ross, who runs the Cancer Genetics Program at the University of Texas Southwestern.
I think that people are not waiting long enough before they send a test out.
Do you feel sometimes the science gets shortchanged in the face of the business?
Yes. If the FDA were to come in and say, show me your data, they couldn't show the data, they should not be testing these patients.
Why not?
Because it's useless.
Now, this is not to say that no laboratory-developed tests are clinically useful. Most probably are. But since companies are not required to prove their claims, we just don't know for sure.
Do we know how many tests there are like these?
Well, since the FDA doesn't have to keep numbers, there's no hard data, but we estimate about 10,000 labs developing about 100,000 tests like this.
Is there a timeline when they think we will be able to do what these claims are making?
Best guess. Best case scenario, about 3 to 5 years to have it clinically validated.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. Thank you, Jim Axelrod.